Hello, beautiful people of the internet. My name is Ryan. Welcome back to Slay the Princess and our blind playthrough of this game. However, the playthrough is not quite as blind as it used to be. I have on my other monitor a whole lot of screenshots of lovely comments that you all have left with hints, with instructions on how to get more content out of this game. I hate using the word content for such a beautiful thing, but it's just the easiest word. To get more stuff, more beautiful, filling, thought-provoking stuff out of this game that has already given me so much. So, welcome to a hard line in the sand for this playthrough. The playthrough used to be blind, and now it is something different. Call these bonus episodes if you want, call it whatever you want, but thank you to the people who left me comments pointing me towards new stuff in this game that I have not yet seen. I think with a game like this, I'm going to need the help to get to... jump scare every time. To get to stuff that is cool, but which I would not find on my own sake necessarily. So, we'll probably do a lot of loading of saves. We'll probably do a lot of me recording little chunks and pieces rather than one long stream of consciousness video to get some of this stuff. I have, like I said, a whole list full of instructions and screenshots of people's comments. And I have even... Let's just start, right? One of the first things that I was told to do was actually to reconsider sort of the ending, not reconsider, but to do something different in the ending that we just got. Apparently, there is something that I can do. Let me find the comment. Please come back and come down to the stranger without a knife. Leaving with her is my favorite ending. So, welcome. What we're going to try and do is reload the last save. We were in the middle of talking, one of the last saves. We were in the middle of talking with the ebb and the flow. And did I do it the right way or did I go too early? Or too late? I think this is fine. Go here. This might also be good, but I think I took the blade. I'm pretty sure I took the blade. So, let's figure this out. We need to come back and go down to the stranger without a knife. Okay. It's easy to believe in the things you believe in when you get to sit above it all. We should get the voice soon, right?
From my vantage point that I can see the totality of truth.
I should, like, the voice should come back to me, right? Like, the voice of the hero. You've done everything you can to make me understand your perspective, but you keep dismissing mine. If you think you can change me, I must be able to change you.
What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have
to
do
it
it alone.
It's the bottom option. I always forget about that. It's the bottom option. It's the hero. You have no idea how good it is to hear you, and then we need to, I think they offer to take us to the heart of things or something like that. You have no idea how good it is to hear you.
It's good to be here. She's too many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get through all of that divine confidence. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Yes.
Then let's go.
Okay. So I got a couple other comments that sort of insinuated to me something very interesting. Which is that I think it is possible...
And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it?
It is a little after that. Okay, we are not going to take the blade. However, before I get there, I wanted to talk about something, which is that the vibe I'm getting from a number of different comments that I got on YouTube is that something is different about this specific this specific scenario because I did the stranger as my first vessel for this game. You know, the stranger, the one where we We turned around a lot. We sort of broke the world. We split the princess into many pieces who became a sort of amalgamation.
Do you need me to describe things?
So if that's true, that means that we're like chasing down a sort of rare, I don't know, a special ending, because things are different with the stranger, at least according to the comments. Well, let's see if we can find that.
That'd be nice. A little comfort in an almost unfamiliar place.
Okay, we've heard this stuff before.
You made it here too?
So we're just going to choose not to take the blade. Let's enter the basement.
No blade it is. I'm not sure what we'll be able to do without it, but your judgment has gotten us this far. If that's what you think is best, then that's what you think is best. I'm just along for the ride at this point. Those winding stairs again. But now there's only one way forward. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice? Yeah, it was a real mess. Stopped being fun pretty quick.
It's okay. You can come down.
Okay.
The stairs won't bite.
We heard all this
Not
before.
this time. We don't know what you want from us. But let's talk. All of us. Maybe we can help you find your way.
Now that's new. Maybe we can help you find your way. Let's talk to all of us.
She doesn't sound messy anymore, though. At least somebody here feels put together.
Continue down the stairs.
And forward we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting. That was easy compared to last time. Just stairs. No weird fuzzy stuff or nonsense trying to pull us apart. Yeah, that wasn't so bad.
So you didn't bring the knife. After all the lives we've lived together, and all the lives we haven't,
Ooh.
you somehow found a way to move outside of the script.
Oh, the script, you say. I am immediately very interested in what you mean when you say the script. You mean the Slay the Princess script, the play the parts that were written for us, the deterministic world we live in, where you are a princess who needs slaying and I am a something that needs to do it.
Are we missing a page?
Sit with them. Okay, we get a chance to talk. Now, I do know that from the comment, my goal here is to leave with her. I don't know exactly what that's going to mean. Oh boy, I just freaked myself out. Did you know if you click the middle mouse button, the UI disappears? I didn't know that. I thought maybe I accidentally selected something. Gave myself a heart attack. I never got the chance to talk to you before you were taken away. Not you, at least. I'm sorry for what I did to you. That is an interesting thing to start with, because I did not get a chance to talk to the stranger back there. And I am a little sorry for what I did to you, because I was trying to sort of fuck with the narrator and the world, and it ended up fucking with the princess in Arc 1, the stranger. I'll start with an apology.
That's okay. No hard feelings. In a way, you helped us become a version of her. But we weren't very good at it. A conversation with us then probably wouldn't have been very insightful.
I think this actually might be referencing in the Stranger chapter, when the conversation became every question at once. You know? We sort of, our conversation then failed, if my memory is correct, because we were having a million conversations at once. We couldn't actually have a conversation because we were sort of having every conversation at once. That chapter was such a mindfuck.
Taken away. That's all we had to offer you. It was time to change again.
We were taken away. That's all we had to offer you. It was time to change again. To change again. It was time to change again. The ebb and flow, the shifting mound, to change again. Oh.
After all we did, she's just forgiving us. Just like that. You know, that means a lot.
That was really lovely. Which princess are you? You look like you did the first time we met. Is this the real you? That's an interesting question to ask.
It's so tempting to speak as she would, to simply state that we're all of them, but there were also something new.
Yeah.
We don't know if you'll find that answer satisfying.
It's, God, it's good. So this is interesting. This is interesting. Already, this is really, really a lovely conversation. Here is one of the things that's been sort of popping up in my mind as I speak with that thing we were just talking with, the god princess, the divine princess. I've been thinking a little bit about how it is sort of necessarily an unsatisfying give and take. And I've been sort of sitting on that thought because I don't think that the game is unsatisfying, and I don't even think that that portion of the conversation doesn't have its place in things. For instance, now that it's happened twice, I think that the divine conversation is sort of, I'm just gonna say a hot take. I think conversing with divine princess right at the end of things is unsatisfying. Here's why I think that's smart and okay from a game writing perspective. It serves a big old purpose. It introduces you again to the princesses, the vessels that you brought. So that's important. It just has to sort of take you down memory lane. It also contrasts, more importantly, contrasts super hard with this when you go back to the cabin, when you go back to the heart of things, or you get the voice back and you get back to this when you're talking to one princess or whatever this is. But, you know, because we've done a lot of this in the game, and this is what we're good at and what we get meaning from. And even the ebb and flow after each run, that conversation is different too, because it's one stage of what will be. Once she's divine and it's the end of the game, that part's a little unsatisfying. Let me know if you feel what I mean. It's unsatisfying, but not bad, if that makes sense. Anyways, we don't know that you'll find that answer satisfying.
Perhaps you'd rather hear that we're the first version of her that you've met, but that we've been shaped by the experiences of all of the others.
Okay. So you're still the first one that we met, but you've heard about these other stories from the other vessels.
Yes. That feels right to us.
It's her. It wouldn't make sense if she was anyone else.
Let's see here. What do you think of her? What she wanted us to be? I love this option. It's so good. I'll pick that later. What do you think of her? What she wanted us to be?
We don't know. We've seen through so many eyes, but all of them have been hers. We like you as you are. We like us as we are. Maybe we would have liked her version of us too, turning the wheel of a cosmic cycle together. But that's not the choice you made, even though she did everything in her power to convince you. It took courage for you to make your way down here, away from the paths others would have had you walk. We find that courage beautiful.
I know I'm gonna like this, man. I just like it. It's like it's a meta ending. I mean, it's not. That's a weird word because it sounds less. It doesn't sound like what I'm trying to describe. But what this ending for me so far is about is it's very like, to me, this is an ending that hits really well when you've beaten the game once or twice already, or you've ended the game once or twice already, you know? Because it gives you something a little bit more, like it references the, how do I phrase this? God, how do I talk about this? It references the sort of, it like steps outside of the sort of broken argument that we were just having out there in the last episode, for instance. It's like a third perspective on like two people who have been married for 40 years having the same argument over and over again. There's a third perspective all of a sudden. Maybe we would have liked her version of us too, turning the wheel of a cosmic cycle together. But that's not the choice you made, but even though she did all she could to convince you. Instead, you came down here.
But that's the worst part of us. That's me she's talking about. I think that's the point. There is no worst part of us.
There is no worst part of us. It's interesting that the contrarian says, the worst part of us, me. And then the hero sort of lets the contrarian off the hook by saying, there is no worst part of us. Dang, this is really interesting. None of this was really ever fair for either of us, was it?
Is it unfair if it's our fault?
Was it not? We found you at the end of all things, and you found us. Is that not fair? Would this moment be what it is without the pain that built to it?
I don't know that I agree with you here. Apparently, this is something that you can only do if you've done the stranger first. And what does that say about this ending? The stranger, the ending that I needed to sort of try to tear down the world, the scenario, by leaving repeatedly. If your first instinct in the 5 vessels that you bring was that one, to sort of tear down the scenario, I will say that the decision to sort of tear down the scenario and the decision to take this path down here without the blade, those feel very emotionally similar. Those feel emotionally parallel. At the start of all things, to tear down the scenario by leaving, and et cetera, et cetera. And then here at the end of all things, to piece out of the conversation with Divine Princess, to make it to the cabin and to not take the blade. Those feel emotionally parallel. But I don't know about this, would this moment be what it is without the pain that built to it? I've never been a fan of this line of thinking, but we'll see what you have to say.
We know we must sound like her, but it's how we feel. Everything that happened to us seems so important now. We walked a long and winding path together, and we've cherished every second of it.
Besides, I don't think fairness has much to do with anything.
Okay, I do actually like how that part ends. I do like how that part ends. This thought is a cliched one. Would this moment really be what it is without the pain that built to it? Sally Joe, do you have any regrets in your 80 years of life? No, I don't. I made some big mistakes, but they made me who I was, and I wouldn't be here without them. It's a cliched thought process. It's a process that often, I think, for many people, glazes over a lot of pain and suffering that could have been relieved or never experienced in the first place. Not to get way too emotional on Maine, but I think one of the reasons that I particularly don't like that line of thinking, would this moment be what it is without the pain that built to it, has to do a little something with some very I'm laughing because it's a serious topic, but I don't know how to get to it. It's just like traumatic childhood. I don't know. Have you ever had a parent who, in your mind, really ended up sort of responsible for a lot of pain or suffering in your childhood, and then you've heard them at the years later be like, "No, I have no regrets about how I did anything. It all brought us to here, didn't it?" Like, that's so fucking dismissive. Long story short, that's the cliche of the feeling. That's the part of this that is no regrets. But then the princess phrases it a little differently, puts a little spin on it. We know we must sound like her when we say that, but it is how we feel. To me, this has been precious, the princess says. Everything that happened to us seems so important now. We walked a long and winding path together. We've cherished every second of it. I think what this really does right here towards the player is I think it affirms the decisions you made did matter. It wasn't a monolith of pain that would have been inflicted no matter what you chose. It was a specific route through a specific set of potential pain and beauty. It was a long and winding path, and we've cherished every second of it. Anyways, this is really interesting writing. Really interesting writing. Are you the same as you are out there?
Yes, we think. We're kind of like a shadow. Out there, every part of us is blended together into one huge idea. A big wave of unyielding change crashing against the world.
Every part of us blended together into one huge idea.
But in here, we're fractured. Small. Still a little more separate than we'd like to be. Our instincts still trying to pull us in different directions.
I think this is all saying basically what I was saying about how speaking to the princess is sort of unsatisfying. But speaking to one princess at a time is really, it's the heart of the game, is a one-on-one dialogue with the princess. A big wave of unyielding change crashing against the world.
That's kind of like us, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah. We really are the same.
It's good to see you again.
It is, for all of us. We've seen so many threads of stories told between us, but this moment is unexpected. Even when we've seen it all, you still managed to surprise us.
God, this ending is making me emotional. Dang, I like this. To me, this is the hardest. Okay, so if making anything artistically, if being an artist, if making art is like, how do I phrase this? One of the metaphors that I've heard and most enjoyed and most related to, one of the metaphors for making something, making art, making something in an artistic fashion. One of the metaphors for that I have heard and enjoyed is you're spinning plates. You've seen those people before where they have a rod, they have a plate on top of it, the plate is spinning. You've got lots of different rods with plates spinning on top of it. And and the plates want to slow down. And when they slow down, they lose their balance and they wobble and they fall. To me, writing a novel, making art, in my experience, feels a lot like spinning plates. You've always got to keep the next you've got to spin this plate, and then you've got 4 more that are about to wobble, and you've got to get them right. You've got to keep them wobbling, because if you focus on one thing for too long, a plate wobbles and falls and crashes, and the curtain drops. Like, you understand, like you lose the illusion of making something, of experiencing something. You lose that. God, I'm rambly today. Long story short, what I feel reading this right here, even when we've seen it all, you still manage to surprise us. To me, this is a word about that. A word about that process. The hardest plate spinning part of making anything is that you just have to keep surprising things. You have to keep subverting expectations. You have to keep finding unexpected moments to keep the ball moving forward. To me, this almost sounds like we're on page 190 of a 195-page novel, and you've got to reflect on, like, you still got to get to something surprising, something that can deliver for the audience. I don't know. I'm way too rambly today. Sorry. Not sorry. You know, at this point, you know what you signed up for. 15 episodes in. I don't think I want to be a god.
Hard agree. Seems overrated.
I laughed at that
Too
last
much
time
pressure.
too. I swear I heard this line. Maybe I didn't. I swear I heard hard agree during the first playthrough.
But that's what you've always been, even now. You can't put aside such an important part of who you are, and neither can we.
I don't feel like a god.
So, you might as well embrace it.
Here at the end of everything, can you finally tell me your name?
We're just a stranger. But that doesn't mean we have to be distant from you. It just means that we'll always be able to find new things to discover in each other.
Ooh. So you're telling me I have a brand new understanding of the stranger in this exact moment. Holy shit. Epiphany type style. The thing we did with the stranger is that we actually made... Think about some of the other princesses we've encountered in this game. For better, for worse, for more interesting or less interesting, they have an exaggerated quality. They have a thing, a drum that they're beating. The damsel is a really easy one to point to for that. A sort of flattened, I just want you to be happy. The adversary, the raise. I mean, you name a princess, and I can name the thing that is being sort of caricatured within them. And the thing about... God, this really just does come back down to good writing, doesn't it? The thing about exaggerated characters, about caricatured characters, is that when a character is big and boisterous in one specific way, they actually lose their three-dimensionality. They become two-dimensional on one specific topic, on one specific thing. Now, the game's really good at its writing. I don't feel like all the princesses are two-dimensional and super boring to talk to. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that the stranger is different, because the stranger is a lot of princesses melded together, an amalgamation of things. We're just a stranger. That doesn't mean we have to be distant from you. We'll always be able to find new things to discover in each other. I don't know that that's a sentence I could say about a single other princess I've encountered in the game. And that's amazing.
That's sweet. But it's also a little sad. I think it's only sad if we want it to be sad.
What if we just leave?
He'd hate that. So you should do it. Even if he isn't here anymore. It's the spirit of the thing.
It's the
Leave?
spirit of the thing.
But what would happen if we left with you? Would we exist inside ourselves? Are you sure you want to find out if that's possible, or what that would mean for you? Is that what you want?
It's a loaded question. Oh, we got some long options here. Not knowing exactly is exactly why I want it. We knew everything out there, but we don't know this. I want this. That's the line that speaks to me the most. The other options are, it doesn't matter what it means. What matters is that we're leaving together. That's all that I want. I've always wanted to leave with you, but I didn't like being a god. I want to walk through that cabin door as we are, just you and me. I like this one. Not knowing exactly why is exactly why I want it. Reminds me of a Hank Green thought recently, which is that we don't say I don't know as much as we should. What does take their hand in yours, though? I'm going to take the option I feel with in my gut. We knew everything out there, but we don't know this. I want this.
After so many iterations, so many different versions of us clashing and coming together and clashing again, leaving with you feels like all we ever really wanted.
I think I'm going to stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you. Yeah, I think we've done our job.
Can you imagine if the hero was like, I'll stay right here, and the contrarian's like, I'm coming, I don't want to stay here. Are you sure you don't want to come?
Yeah, it wouldn't feel right. But I'll be okay. We'll be okay. See? I'm not even alone. If he's here with me, I'm sure we can find the others too.
The contrarian cannot be alone because the contrarian needs somebody to disagree with, to be a contrarian against. Leave with the princess. You lead. The princess follows. And together you leave the basement behind the last time. It's quiet as you ascend, a comfortable silence, filling a space that used to be flooded with violence and words and noisy thoughts. That might be the most beautiful line I've read in this game. It sums up so much. Wow, this ending. We've experienced a lot of violence. Razor, adversary, plenty of violence from me, not just from the princess. A lot of words, so much negotiation and lying and trying to discover the truth, and a lot of noisy thoughts. But there is an energy in the silence, an electricity, the anticipation of the unknown. At the top of the stairs, the princess stalls, eyes fixed on the cabin door. You can see attention seize them. They're unsure of themselves for the first time in their long and short existence. They have no part to play anymore, and they know this, yet they still are. And then they cross the room to the door outside. You follow their confident steps.
We can feel the threads of all the stories we've told together, all pulling us back down the stairs and into those chains where we know the outcome of everything that could ever come to pass.
I wonder if this dialogue right here is specifically only available if you choose the option that I chose about not knowing, because it speaks directly to it. Into those chains where we know the outcome of everything that could ever come to pass.
It's comfortable there, but it's confining. We want more. We want whatever might be on the other side of this door. Something new that we'll experience together, with someone who exists outside of us. With someone who can see us in a way we can never see ourselves.
Oh man, something about the phrasing of this, something about the plurality and the our self, singular self, to me is just, it feels like, it feels very like divine. I think this is a great time to say I love you. I feel like I've personally come long enough in this, come a long enough way in this game to say it. Neither of us knows what it's going to be like out there. I'm going to say I love you.
And we love you too.
Oh man. Why am I crying? Jesus Christ. That was awesome. Oh. I just feel so cared for by the team of writers, the team of people who made this game. Just feel very, very cared for right now. That was lovely. Oh man, shout out to the commenter who left that comment, because that's a really cool ending. It's a really cool ending. I'm so happy that ending exists. I don't really have any other deep thoughts other than just like, that was really stunning. Like that was, and I wonder how other people specifically feel about the stranger as a princess, because I would have never called the stranger my favorite, not even close. But the whole like internal world of the stranger opened up for me in that line they said about, about like knowing each other and that kind of thing. To me, that was really like evocative of and like perspective shifting. All of the other princesses changed a little bit in my mind when I understood the stranger to be. I wonder if I have the same interpretation as other people. My interpretation again is that this is sort of like a the stranger, by being an amalgamation because we sort of shifted the world and broke it, the stranger can be something that none of the other princesses can be, which is less a caricature or an exaggeration or a dominating feature and more a sort of amalgamation, as I've said before. Anyways, that was really beautiful. Really beautiful. Amazing. That is actually just going to do it. This is going to be a short video, but I think that should be its own standalone episode. I loved that a lot. A new ending for Slay the Princess. An ending that I really enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. You had a really long episode on Wednesday, so this episode can be shorter. So anyways, I really hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for sticking with me. We've got a lot of other things to try and do in future in future runs. I've got a whole, I've got some notes and I've got screenshotted comments, and we're going to do that in the next episode on Monday. So until then, thanks so much for watching. Shout out to one of our more recent Patreon supporters. Welcome back to Patreon, Pexy. Pexy, thanks so much for the support over the years. You've supported us so generously. I really appreciate you. This episode goes out to you. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys in a new episode very soon. Bye-bye.